River State.
Other stakeholders who attended the briefing include Mike Amakiri, Williams Ubulom, Esuku Gogo, Isaiah Ogute, Jones Ayuwo, among others. In another development, a socio-political group, Kalabari Bridge Builders and Development Initiative, also known as Kalabari Solidarity Movement KSM Asalga, has commended Governor Fubara on the appointment of Basuwene Denibo as Commissioner for Housing. A statement by the Director of Media of the group, Gabi Quest, said that the co-chairman of KSM Asalga, Iseleye Amakri, made the commendation during the group's visit to the commissioner in his office. Mr. Amakri eulogized the commissioner for his selfless service to the KSM right from its inception and pledged to partner with the Fubara administration. Earlier, the commissioner for housing expressed gratitude for the visit and promised not to ignore the group as a foundation member. In his remark, Tubonimi Wokoma praised the virtues of the commissioner for his role in the design of Trans-Kalabari Road while he was a director in the Ministry of Works. Still to come, Supreme Court reserved judgment on local government autonomy. Stay with us. Holders of Orawa Village in Mboshimini Community, Rumweme Kingdom, Obiakwa Local Government Area, River State, have disassociated themselves from the coronation of Ndamzin Sirim as Yenweli of Rumweme Kingdom by Larry Nyeche. Now, this is contained in a statement signed by the acting chairman of the Mboshimini Community Development Council, Nweli Nyeche, chairman of CDC Mboshimini Orawa Community, Jeffrey Ono Hamadi, head of the Okocha Adili family, Prince Will Adili, secretary of Mboshimini Orawa Community, Abraham Eziwo Okocha, and 5 others. Now, the statement said that Larry Anile Nyeche is not from Orawa Village, but from the Asuru family in Obakiri Community, a Moha local government area, and so cannot perform such traditional rites. The statement also said that Mr. Nyeche is not the chief of Orawa community as announced and does not have the mandate to represent the community in any capacity. It further cautioned troublemakers causing crisis and attempting to use any community in Mboshimini, particularly Orawa village, to mislead the public. Efforts to reach Larry Nyeche for comment have been unsuccessful. He has not responded to calls or text messages sent to him on this. Away from that, a former council chairman in Emoha local government area of River State, Azubike Odum, is calling on the youth in Emoha to remain calm and ensure peace in the council as the tenure of the serving council chairman comes to an end. In an interview with our correspondent, Mr. Odom, who is a former minority leader of the River State House of Assembly, said that going by the constitution, the chairmen have no choice but to vacate their office once their tenure expires.
First of all, every beginning has an end. The local government is a creation of the constitution. So I'm urging the youth in the various wards, the 14 wards in the Mowa local government, to put themselves together to ensure there is peace in their various wards, because the governor of River State has the mandate to ensure that the local government is properly constituted when the tenure of the existing local government expires.
Mr. Odum, who is also a member of the Simplified Movement in Rundele Ward 7, expressed confidence that the River State government through RISIEC will conduct council elections soon.
By special grace of God, Simplified Movement in among our local government, we are not going to leave any stone untouched. We have already prepared. We have already sanitized our people to be prepared, because by the end of this year, we are taking over the local government through the legal process. There will be an election in the local government. As soon as the local government expires, the governor of River State will ensure that the local government continue to run. It's no cause of alarm.
Meanwhile, the Supreme Court has reserved its judgment on the suit the federal government filed to secure full autonomy for the 774 local government areas in the country. A 7-man panel of the court, led by Justice Garba Lawal, okayed the matter for judgment after the 36 state governors, through their attorney generals, adopted their briefs of argument. Now, elsewhere, President Bola Tinubu today received a draft bill seeking a return to a regional system of government for Nigeria. In other news, the Association of Formidable Educational Development, AFED, has concluded the 5th edition of its African Education Conference in Port Harcourt. Speaking at the 2-day event, the national president of AFED, Emmanuel Ojikano, advocated for government policies that support low-cost schools. Mr. Ojikano explained that low cost does not imply low education standards.
In every country and climate, it is policy that drive processes. Low-cost education services should also be driven by well-articulated policies. There is a huge gap that these schools are covering. Low cost doesn't necessarily mean low quality. Private schools, such as these low-cost schools, we are just actually covering the gaps where government cannot reach. We are talking about over 18 million out of school children. Should we take pride in that? No. These low-cost schools have come to fill the gap and provide solutions. So government therefore should consider it as a solution to one of the challenges. Recognize this solution and empower it to deliver.
Some participants at the event also spoke alongside the National Secretary of AFED, Uche Nwebe.
Every Nigerian child needs quality education, and it has to be affordable. So what we have done is to bring all that know in education to tell low-cost operators that it's possible to change the Nigerian narrative by constant training.
Without the private sector in education in Nigeria, education would have collapsed. The low-fee school is not a low-standard school because all our children take the same exam, the same curriculum, and most of our children do better. I feel is helping the education in Nigeria to evolve, trying to imprint on Nigeria what is ours.
Today I've been able to learn about cultural diversity. We may have different culture, but we should be able to respect our culture. Be able to teach the students also how to respect culture, not only their culture but other people's culture.
Our correspondent reports that the highlight of the conference was the talk shows, academic seminars, and trade fairs for educational materials, among others. And the theme of the event was championing equality, low-cost schools as agents of change.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
U.S. President Joe Biden and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky signed a security agreement on Thursday at the Group of 7 G7 summit. It sent what they describe as a message of unified opposition to Russian President Vladimir Putin.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
That's a wrap on the news this morning. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. The Rivers State University student assaulted by man o' war has recounted his ordeal. Supreme Court has reserved judgment on local government autonomy. And on the foreign scene, the U.S. signed a 10-year security agreement with Ukraine at the G7 summit. The news was edited by Chioma Ezenwafo. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I'm Ifichukwu Moyele. Many thanks for listening.